Ever since the original Google Home came out, I've been obsessed with finding different items in the home that I can control with my voice. Well, since then, I've actually found that using voice is not always convenient. Maybe my kids are screaming in the home and it can't hear me, or maybe I'm rocking the baby to sleep and it's not always convenient to use voice. So I think I found the next best thing, and it's all done with the press of a button. Let's get started. Hey everybody, welcome to Tech with Brett, where I help tech work for you. Today we will be reviewing the Flic 2 starter kit. Flic sent this to me to check out for you guys. So in the starter kit, it comes with the Flic Hub LR and 3 Flic 2 buttons. So there was a previous model, but this has a bunch of improvements with longer range, better battery life, and all sorts of things. Now, if you don't want to pick up the hub, you can just pick up the buttons and use just with your phone, but we'll get into all of that. So you can check all these out at the Flic website. So let's get into it with the unboxing. So here inside the starter kit, we have the Flic Hub. So this is what allows you to control different smart devices with your Flic buttons. So here on the hub, pretty simple. On the back here, you do have an output for IR, and then you have an output for audio, an Ethernet port, a micro USB power port, and then you have a little notification light there. And that's pretty much it. Here you can see all of those on the back here, and then you have a reset button as well. Now inside, it does come with a micro USB cable, but you will need your own power brick to power this up. And then here it comes with the 3 different Flic buttons. So each of these buttons has 3 different actions. You have one click, a double click, and then you have a click and hold. And so those are the 3 different actions. So there you go. So that's pretty much all that is here inside the box. And then you can also get these Flic buttons here. So because you may have different buttons doing different things, you might want to put a sticker on them to remind you of what they do. So here you have power buttons, you have different light settings, you can control different rooms, volume up and down, play or pause. So those are pretty cool. And then here you have a bunch of other things. Maybe you want to turn on the gaming system, or send a loved one a message or something like that. You have all of these to remind you of what the actual buttons can do. So like I said, it can work just with the phone, but first we're going to show how to get this set up with the hub. So let's get this plugged in. All right, so we have the hub plugged in, and here you can see the red light is on. So now we're just going to go into the Flic application. This is available for Android or iOS. And here we're going to open the app. And first I did create an account and I have logged in. And now just down here, we're going to select Add Hub. And once we do that, it already found the hub nearby, so the hub will connect directly to the Wi-Fi so that you don't need your phone nearby to actually use the buttons. So here we're going to tap the hub, and then here we need to enter the password located on the back of the hub. And now it is asking me to give the hub a name. So we're just going to name this Flic Hub. Continue. Now we are complete, so I'm going to select Finish, and now I need to add a different Flic to my hub. So here I'm going to select Add Device, and here it says hold down for 10 seconds until it connects. Okay, it has connected, and we're just going to name this Office button. Let's move these aside. So now that we have our Office button here, anytime we want to adjust settings, we just come into the app and we tap on the button. So here you can see the 3 different options you have with the buttons. So you have click, double click, or hold. Up here in the settings, you do have the option to pause. So if at any time you don't want people to use the Flic, you can do that. You can turn on disconnected. This means your Flic won't respond. Maybe you don't want the kids to be doing something during a movie. You can do that. And then here you have passive mode. So passive mode disconnects the Flic when you're not using it. So it's just going to maybe take a tiny bit longer to connect when you start using it. And that would probably save a little bit more of battery. A few more things about the button before I forget. Also on the back, you do have an option to pull off this little sticky pad so you can place the Flic button pretty much anywhere. So I could place it here to my desk, place it to the wall for a light switch, or even like to your door for a doorbell. Now also inside the battery, it should last up to 3 years, which is just incredible. Now, if you do run out of battery, you can easily pull out the battery inside and replace it with another button battery, and then you're good to go. So that's one of the great things about the Flic button. So pretty cool little options there, but now let's go and see what we can actually do with these clicks. So if we do one click, so here is a list of all the different things you can control. So if you have any of these devices, you can control them. And if your devices that you want to control aren't in here, there might be a way to do that with the IFTTT or maybe just directly through your phone. So we'll get to all of that. So let me just show you through here. So if you want to use the IR commands, you would need the IR accessory to plug it in here, and then you'd be able to control your TV and certain devices with that. And then scrolling down here, I have some LifeX bulbs that we can control, Philips Hue that we can control. You can have it play a sound, so you can have it play a sound out of the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack here into a speaker. And going down here, some of the other things that I've used are WeMo, and then here you have other options like Wink and Zapier. So I don't know exactly what you can do with all these. There are really a ton of features that you can do with the Flic, but let's start at the top and show you some of the things that you can do. So here, if I select Chromecast, the first thing I need to do is tap Add Chromecast. So what this is going to do is it's going to search through the Wi-Fi network that the hub is connected to find other things that it can control. So here at the top, it found my Google Home Max on the Wi-Fi network. It also found the Office Display Smart Display, and then hopefully it would find my Chromecast Ultra that I have connected. So I hit refresh again, and then there it found the Lenovo Smart Display, and then it found my Chromecast Ultra. So this is just the list of what it found. Now if we go back, now we have the option to choose what device we want to control. So let's say I want to choose my Chromecast Ultra. And then down here, I have different options that I can do with the Chromecast Ultra. So here I can choose to navigate. So I could choose to play, pause, toggle play and pause, next, previous, skip, back or skip forward, or I could adjust the volume. And then here I have the option to play a specific YouTube video. For this, let's choose navigate, and we're going to choose play and pause. And then I'm going to save that action, and then let's set up the double click. So I want to control the Chromecast again. We're going to do Ultra, navigate, and then here I want to be able to mute the Chromecast. So I'm going to choose volume, and then down here I can choose turn the volume up, turn it down, set, or mute. So I'm going to do that option. So now you can see I have those set up, and then I want to choose a third command. So let's say that this is like my Chromecast button, and I'm going to choose hold. And then I can go to Chromecast again, Chromecast Ultra, and then let's say I want to play a specific video that I like to watch. Now all I need to do is take a URL from YouTube and then paste it right here. And now I select Save Action. So now I have these 3 different commands set up here. So let's go ahead and test that out. Okay, so first I'm going to start a YouTube video here on the Chromecast Ultra, and then I'm going to control it with the button. Hey Google, play Tech with Brett on Chromecast Ultra.
Okay, playing Tech with Brett from YouTube on Chromecast Ultra.
Today on Tech at Home, we're going to find a few. Okay, so the video's playing. Now I want to pause it, so I should just press the button once. Definitely keep the kids busy for at least. And there the video paused. Now at the top there is a little indicator showing you that you click the button. So you'll see a little tiny light turn on. Now I want to unpause it, so I just press again because I set that up as a toggle. And there it is able to play. Now let's say I want to mute it, I just need to double click. And there you can see the mute bar at the bottom, and to unmute it, I'm gonna double click again, and there it unmutes. So I'm gonna click to pause. So that is actually working really well. There have been a few times where it did take a little bit longer, but it would eventually go. But as you can see right here, it actually worked really well. Now the third option, which was to hold down to start a YouTube video, so far I haven't been able to get this to work. So I tried this on a smart display and also tried it on the Chromecast. Let's try again, holding down the button to play a specific video. So there it activates YouTube. And it looks like it's not going to play. So for some reason, that command isn't going to work. So now let's move on to controlling smart lights. Heading back into the Office button, if I want to change these out, all I have to do is select Remove. You even have the option to execute. So if I don't want to pull out the button, I could just come into the app and say execute, and it's going to do that. And then I have the option to edit. So if I want to change inside the Chromecast section, I can do that as well, but here we're just going to remove. So now let's go ahead and set up that we want to control our WeMo lights. So if I wanted to control WeMo, I would just come in here, I select modify, and then here I select search, and then it's gonna pull up all the different lights that I have in my home that I can control through WeMo. Again, I didn't need to sign into WeMo or anything. It automatically found what was on my network. I'm gonna select switch, and then here, let's choose the piano lamp. And then down here, I have the option for different modes. So I could either have it always turn them off, turn them on, or toggle. So toggle is gonna turn them on or off depending on what state they are currently in. So now with that, I just need to select back to save. And now let's go ahead and test out the button. So here you can see, press the button, turns on the light switch, press it again, turns it off, makes it really convenient to add a second switch into your home. So now let's go ahead and do the same thing with the hue lights that I have in my home. So all I need to do is come here to Philips Hue, and then for the first time you will need to add your hub. So all you need to do is go press the button on your Philips Hue hub. It will search through and then it finds all of your Hue lights. So there you did have to authenticate it, but it was super quick and easy. So now let's say that I want to control my lights. So I want to control all the Hue lights in this room, and then I will control the Hue strip. And then again, on off toggle or other. So we're gonna toggle them on and off. And then you could keep the current color mode, choose a different color or random. So let's keep the color mode, select save. And then I'm gonna choose my double click, which is going to be Philips Hue, lights, same lights. So here I'm gonna choose just on, and I'm gonna choose a specific color. So let's say I want to choose like this blue right here. Select choose. And then now whenever I double click, it's going to turn the lights to blue, save action. And then if I wanted to turn them back to white, I could hold on it and set up another action for that. So again, choose the lights I want, and then choose on, and choose the color, choose the white option like that. And there you have all the different white that you can choose. So we're gonna select choose, save action. Select back to save. Now let's try this on the Hue lights. So here you can see, so I press the button, it turns it on. This time it actually did take another second or two. Turn on the lights, press the button again, turns off the lights. And then if I hold down the button, it then is going to turn the lights blue. And if I were to hold it down, it would turn them white. So Philips Hue work great. Now, one other really cool thing that you can do with each button. So let's say that you want to click one button and turn off all the lights in your home. So if we come in here and we go ahead and we choose LifeX, and then we choose that we want to turn off all those lights, select save action, you can actually press right here again. And then let's say we want to turn off our Philips Hue lights. And here we're going to select lights, and we're going to choose those lights, and I'm going to select off and save action. Now when I press this one button, it's going to turn off all the things that I have within there. So you could go through and you could keep adding more. I could make sure the TV's off. So I have a lot of different options there. Just with one click, I can run through all the list of commands, and that makes this very powerful. Now the next thing to try is controlling my Harmony Hub. So if I come in here, select Harmony Hub, I did need to go through the process of signing into my Harmony account. Didn't know my password, so I had to reset it. But then once you do that, here you have the different Harmony activities. So let's say I want to choose Fire TV, and I want to toggle it on and off. So I can select Save Action. So the kids come down, they want to watch TV. All they need to do is press the button. Here it turns everything on, ready to go, and then they can use the remote to control it. And then when they leave, they can press the button and everything turns off, not having to worry about them using the phone or any voice assistant or anything. All can be done with the Flic button here. Now, I haven't tried or tested all of these different services, but let me just run through some of them really quickly to show you what they can do. So here in Microsoft Flow, if you select Read More, here it says it can trigger Microsoft Flow. In order to use this function, you must also surf the flow.microsoft.com and set up what should happen when the button is pressed. So that's really cool if you're using Microsoft Flow. We're gonna come back to IFTTT. If you have IKEA bulbs or even their new blinds, you would be able to use the IKEA option here. Again, for IR, actually, let's see if I have a blaster that will work on that. So it looks like none of my IR blasters fit because this is a 2.5 millimeter blaster connection and all the ones I have are 3.5. So here you have the option for an internet request. So I don't really know anything that this can do, but if you understand the get, post, put, and delete commands, you would be able to do that. So this function enables you to make an internet request, post, get, put, delete, assign a URL, and send the request by clicking your Flic button. Next, we have LifeX Lite. So here, if I want to add the bulbs that I have in my room, I will need to log into my account, and then I just need to authenticate. And here it found my 3 LifeX bulbs that I have within my room. So now if I select back, I have the option to control the lights, so I control my home or just certain lights that I have within the home. And just like the Philips Hue, you have the same options: on, off, toggle, choose a color, or choose random. Next, you have NanoLeaf. So if you have any NanoLeaf smart light panels, here you can illuminate your life your way with the NanoLeaf light panels and canvas. You can add a dash of playful ambient light to any room, create your own designs and shapes. So here you have on, off, toggle, and other. Now scrolling down, we have the play a sound option. So this will allow you to play a sound out of the hub. So all we need to do is plug in a speaker into the 3.5mm headphone jack here. So now that we have our speaker plugged in, here let's go into play a sound, and under read more, there's some cool little info here. But right here, there's a pro tip. So if you only assign a single click to one button, then there's less latency. So that means it's just going to be faster. So if we only select one sound to this button, it's going to happen faster. So in here, you have all kinds of sounds: buzzer sounds, success, door knock, or if you go down here, you have some certain other sounds and some horns. So let's do a bike horn for fun. So I'm going to select save action, and now I'm just going to press the button to activate. So let's try that. Pretty cool. And actually, I just found out that my speaker was mute before. So if you go back into the edit here and you just click on one of these, it's going to play through as you are trying to choose a sound to click. It's pretty loud. Let's see, I like this. And these other ones are down here at the bottom. So fun sounds there. That is how you can play a sound with one click on the Flic button. So next we have the option for Slack posts. So if you're using Slack and you want certain things to happen, here it says Slack has really improved the way companies handle their internet communication. And now you can take part of the revolution by using your Flic. Enter a predefined message and let this action handle everything for you. Suggestion: put it next to the coffee machine and let your colleague know when there is a freshly brewed coffee. So that's something that you could use within Slack. So here you can set certain users, you have your different channels and your different groups. I've never used Slack, so I don't really understand all that, but if you do, there you go. Next we have Sonos. So if you have a Sonos speaker, you could have it navigate by playing, pausing, next, or previous. Or here you could choose Spotify. So the Spotify option for Sonos is not yet available on the hub, so hopefully that comes soon. And then here you have Spotify Web Connect. So here you control it playing on the web with the Flic button. So there you have controls and you have media. So you could play a certain track or playlist or album. You know, maybe you have this in your gym, press the button, boom, it's going to start playing your music. So here it tells you a little bit more about how to use Spotify Web Connect. Here we have Tell This. I don't know anything about this. Automate your home from anywhere. Tell This Live is a user-friendly service for automating your smart home from anywhere in the world. Here you can control switches and dimmers. Here you have VLC. So is what you need to do is set up a VLC host, and then you have the commands to pause or play or skip and volume control there. Here you have Wink. So if you have a Wink hub, you have the option to control your lights, including GE, Nest, Philips, Schlage, and others. So here you can add a shortcut within Wink. And here you have Zapier. So here is what Zapier can control. Again, I've never used this service, but that's some details about it. Now let's move back up to IFTTT. So if you haven't heard of IFTTT, this is if this, then that. So you can have certain services connect to other services all through this application, and you can press the button to control those services. So let's go into IFTTT and set this up so we can control most of the lights in this room with the click of a button. To get started, I already have an IFTTT account. So I'm going to open that application. So I just search for Flic and I can come in here and you can see that I already set this up where if I click a Flic, then it would turn off the bathroom light. So you can come in here and turn on and off that option. But then if I come down here, I'm gonna select Get More, and it's gonna show me all kinds of things that I can do. So here, Flic works better with Smart Life, so I can control my Smart Life lights since they're not supported directly in the Flic application. And then here you can get notifications when a Flic is pushed. You can toggle your TP-Link Casa devices. I can turn on and off my lights. I can activate a LifeX scene. I can turn on Whiz lights. Press a button to track workout hours in Google Drive. So really a ton of little things that you can do. You can have it tweet. So lots of stuff that you can do. So let's go ahead and try this. I have LifeX here in the room. So let's select LifeX and now I'm going to connect those together. So here I do need to log in to LifeX and authorize my account for it to work within IFTTT. So I have done that. And now down here, it has the option for if the Flic is clicked, this trigger fires every time you click the button. So here we can choose what button uses this. So let's say office button, and then what happens. So is it one click, double click, hold, or any click? So let's just choose single click today. And then here you can choose a scene. So if you have different LifeX scenes, so here I have a Tech with Brett scene or a phone video. And then you can set a transition. So instant, so we want to choose instant there. And let's say we want to do the Tech with Brett scene, and I'm going to select done. And now it has saved that. So if we go back to the home page of Flic, here we can see that that is active. Now, once I have my IFTTT set up, I do need to go back into Flic and make sure that under the button, I choose one click and I go to IFTTT and I select Save Action, and now we can try this out. So I've turned off most of the lights here in the office, but now I'm just going to press the button and you can see which LifeX bulbs do turn on. So there I have two LifeX bulbs up there, and then here I have another LifeX bulb. So that worked really good. One issue I've had with IFTTT is I wish I could set another routine to be able to then turn them off. I'm not exactly sure how to do that. Maybe there is a way, but that just might be not knowing about IFTTT more, but really cool. So now that I've shown you how you can use the hub and the Flic button together, let's go ahead and pair one of the buttons to just the phone to see what actions you have available. All right, so because we're gonna mainly use this one to control our lights, here we can just put on the little light sticker there, and now we know which one this is. So we're gonna move that over here. And now we are going to set up the second Flic. So again, you do not need the hub, so I'm just gonna move it out of here so you don't think that you need that. And then here we have this one Flic. So we're gonna go back in the application and we're gonna go over here to phone. So here it talks about how you can get it set up, but we just need to select add the Flic to phone. And now I'm going to hold down on it and it's going to connect over Bluetooth low energy here to be able to work. So it now found that Flic button and now we can give it a name. So let's just name it Phone Flic. And done. So now you have the two options. You can control the hub Flics or you have the phone Flics over here. So if I tap on phone Flic, again, I have the three options. So I have click, double click, and hold. So if we go under click, there are a ton of different options you have in here. So here you can control different tasks, phone control, lifestyle, communication, music, home automation, fun, and tools. Now starting off with tasks. So if you select the little menu up here, you can go in and create tasks. So let's say you want your phone to do like a bedtime routine. You could create something like that. Let's go ahead and do one. Here we have add task, and now we can add an action. So let's call this one work. So I'm gonna select action chain. So here we can control certain things. So let's say I want to connect to a certain Wi-Fi. So here it has all the different Wi-Fis that are available in my phone that I've seen. And up here I can search for the specific one that I want to connect to. So let's connect to that, save action. And then I can go ahead and add another action to this. So let's say I want to connect to Wi-Fi, and then I want to have it launch an application. So here it's going to look through all the apps that I have on my phone. Let's say I want it to launch not TikTok, but Tick, so that I know what video I'm going to be working on that day. I'm going to select save. And so now here we've started this little run of commands. And then let's say I want my phone to mute. So we can go into volume control, select mute, and then we're just going to have it go off. And then we could have it mute the ringtone and select save. And it does need permission, so you can select settings here. And then we're going to go into Flic and allow for it to turn on and do not disturb and save action. So now that we've done all that, we can go here and see our work task. So now for one click, we want to activate a task and we want it to activate work. So let's see what that does. So there, instantly open the application. And here my sound mode was already turned off. Let's see. So media is on mute and the ringtone is up. So I'd have to play with that a little bit more, but that's essentially what you can do with the tasks. So now let's go back and let's go ahead and remove that. And let's go and add something else. So maybe we want to just control one of those phone items. So we want to come in here. You can choose any of these. So you have Bluetooth control, camera, find my phone. Maybe you just keep losing your phone. You can use this to find that. I usually use my watch, but that's a great option as well. Maybe you want to quickly turn on the flashlight. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's say we want to turn on the flashlight for 10 seconds. So we're going to save that action. And then we're going to double click. And let's say that we want it to activate Google Assistant. So without using any voice commands, we could activate Google Assistant. And then when we want to hold, we're going to choose phone control. And we could mute our microphone. We could set a timer. We could have it play a certain sound on our phone. Actually, I want to go up here and choose the camera button. And we're going to take a picture. So here we're going to choose photo. And so I'm going to choose front camera. So I'm going to take a selfie here. And we're just going to have it do it in the background. And we're going to keep the flash on off and select save action. So now we have all these different things that it can do with the click of a button. So let's go ahead, try those out. So if I want to turn on the flashlight, press the button. And there it turned on my flashlight. So I said to only turn on my flashlight for 10 seconds. Let's see if it ends up turning it off. Because if you didn't choose a certain amount of time, it just keeps your flashlight on. Okay, that worked. Now we're going to double click. And there it activated Google Assistant. So I didn't need to touch my phone or anything to activate. So last, I'm going to hold this down to take a picture. Okay, so there I just heard a shutter sound. Nothing else happened on screen, so this all happened in the background. But let's go ahead and look in the gallery. And there we have the picture that I took. So that's actually pretty cool to use the Flic button to take a picture. Now here in the menu, you do have some settings for the Flic button. So here, again, you can pause the flicks and you can also set notifications. So every time I press the button, you kind of hear a sound. So I can select that to none or vibrate. And then down here, I have an option for error. So I could turn off any errors. And then here it's saying start Flic on system startup, show Bluetooth indicator, and show update indicator. So those are all the different settings that you have there for the Flic. Okay, let's go in and just look at some of the other options. So here we have lifestyle. So again, we can choose to pause or play a Chromecast that's running. You have the same options there. I did get the YouTube option to work. So if you want to play a certain video for your kid with the press of a button, you would be able to do that. I was able to play that here on my phone without any issues. You have settings for Run Keeper, where you can go in and have it start a run or a walk or a cycle. So maybe you stick this on your treadmill or something. You can do that here. You have Strava options as well, run, walk, cycle. And then here you can set a wake up alarm. So you could press this button to snooze or dismiss your alarm in the morning. So that'd be really nice instead of trying to find your phone. Next, we have communication. So you can send an emergency SMS, you can hang up a call, start a phone call, prepare an email, Slack post, or you can even send a text message. So here you would type in who you want to send a message to, and then here you would choose the body and it can send a message there. Next, you have music. So if you want to start music or pause music or control your music, you have all that. At the beginning of this video, I used the option to play a specific sound. I was able to do that with play a sound. So all I did was go to the voice recorder, record something, and then I came in here and then I set that tone, select save action. And now when you press the button, and so that's how you can play pretty much any song that you have in your phone. And then you also have volume control down here, so you can set the volume up, down, or mute. And then if we go back, we have other home automation options. You can control your wireless speaker. Again, we have other things that we saw with the hub, but this time you don't need to be connected to your hub. You just need to be connected to the internet. So again, you would go through and add a bridge to the application and do that. So we have a few more options here. We have the Lightify one, some that we already saw. We have Wake on LAN, and then we have Ecobee there as well. So some other cool things that you can do with smart home just with the phone. Then we have some fun activities. So let's say you want to play a game. You can come in here and set a buzzer. So like we heard the sounds before, you can do that as well. So if I select save that action, now that buzzer is going to go off. And then here under fun, we have fake call. So you can go ahead and set a person's picture, and then you can choose the volume of the call that's going to come through, and it's going to essentially do a fake call. Let's just try it out right now. So let's go ahead and choose that picture I just took, select save action. Now I'm going to double press. Oh, looks like we need to rotate. So I'm going to select edit here, rotate, save action. Oh, somebody's calling. Hang on, let me answer that. So kind of a fun little thing that you can do. And then you have a fart generator. We're just not going to play those. And then you have a Flic counter. So you do need to go and download a second application for this. Let's say you want to keep track of how many bottles of water you drink a day. You can just press the Flic button and then it will count every time you press that button. So here we need to download the Flic counter application. Now that the app is downloaded, we need to select save action. And now let's go back to that app. And while it was a good thought here, it says that Flic 2 is not supported. Ask the developer to fix this. So, hey Flic, could you fix the button? It's counter, it's not working. Okay. And then back in the app here, you have tools. So these are kind of settings for some of the different actions that we've seen before. So like on the press counter, let's go ahead and try to add water, save action. And now when I press it, oh, there we go. Water, 2, 3. So like in IFTTT, here I can include certain location options, or if I go back, I now have the option for LG WebOS TV. Here I can navigate to certain places. So if I want to drive there, bicycle, or walk, I have that option. Here I can do Shazam. I can connect track time timely. Here I have wake up alarm and Zapier. So there you have a bunch of other little settings for some of the actions that we saw in the previous menu. And then up here in the settings, you do have the option to look at your providers. So you can go in and change who you are currently connected to. Previously on Flic's website, I saw a ton of different providers I could connect to, but I couldn't find them. Well, this is where they are. So like here, I have an Android TV in my home, and if I wanted to control it, I could come in here and connect to that and then be able to control my Android TV. And here you have those other options like the Chromecast we've already set up and other items here. So this is where you can control the account that is connected. And there you even have like Flic Tasker options and ways. So there you go. That is the providers. And if at any time you want to move a Flic off of the hub to just use on your phone, you can come in here and long press on a button, and that is how you can delete it from your app or from the hub and then let other people control it. So here we can hold down, select delete there as well. And if you do want to shop for more Flics, you can come in here to the shopping cart and you can see more of the options. So again, today we use the starter kit, or you can get the Flic 2 Pro Kit, so you get 6 buttons there, or you could go with all of those 15 buttons. But let's say you just want to get started with 2 flicks like I have here. For $30, you would be able to do that, getting the flicks that you can control with your phone, or there you have the 3-pack or the 6-pack. And then there's all kinds of different accessories. So here you have a clip that you could clip on, so you can easily turn on and off functions. There you have stickers. Here's that IR accessory. That would be really cool, because then you could control pretty much any function on your TV that you have with the hub. And then you can also check out the 1st gen. Again, some of the biggest benefits of the 2nd gen buttons is they have a way better range and they have a way better battery. So there you go. That is all the settings here within the Flic application. Wow, there are really a ton of different things that you can do with the Flic buttons and the Flic hub. So I've been using this for a week now, and it's been really nice to just be able to click the button. You know, there's always that one time where it's late at night, you don't want to find the remote, but you can always have a button sitting there, press the button, can have it turn off the TV or turn off that certain light that's always on. So it's really nice that you have the ability to do that. And I really like that it has the option to add multiple things under one button. So if I have one button with one click, I could have it turn off everything in my house at once. So I could turn off all the lights, I could turn off my TV and everything with the click of a button. So that's just really easy and nice to have all in one. Now, one thing that I haven't found to be as nice as I would like it to be is the quickness. So it's just not as snappy as you want. You know, if you click a button sometimes, like if you flick a light switch, boom, it happens. That's not the way this works. For the most part, it does work really good. Like it said in the pro tips, if you only have one action set to the button, then it would be really quick. But sometimes you just have to wait a few seconds. And that's not a huge issue, but just something that you need to be aware of. As for the range of the devices, I was very impressed. So I was using the button in my room at one end of the house. I had the hub set up in the other end of my house, and I was controlling lights underneath the hub. And so I was able to press the button and it turned off those lights no problem. So I think having the range of the V2 or the version 2 hub is definitely something worth having if you are interested in picking up this versus maybe the Flic 1 hub. So overall, very impressed with the product. I wish there were a few more providers and that I could make it so that every light in this room would be able to turn on and off with one button. Almost there, just a few more providers to be compatible would really make that possible. So I know I did a quick overview of pretty much all the functions of this, but if you have any further questions or if you'd like to see more in-depth videos of what the Flic can do with your smart home, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.